Okay guys, I don't know why my video went off, but this was Lori's house. But then her father sold the land, so they built this big house here. So I'm sure the father got some money, but I loved Lori's house. And she was one of my childhood friends. I think she moved back to Virginia. That was where her father was from. Kathy Tafe lived over there in those apartment buildings. And then Robin Erickson lived right on Sweetwater across the way. But I don't think Patricia wants me to go all the way there. The Vidolas lived over there. They still might. Yeah, a lot of memories. Feels weird. It feels a little bit weird. Like I spent a lot of my life walking down the street to get to Christine Valvik's house or to the Vidola's house, and I would crunch the leaves. Oh my gosh, that's weird. That's a weird feeling because this is what I used to do as a kid. You know, you didn't stay in the house growing up. You got out there and you played all day long. You didn't come back for lunch. You came back for dinner when the street lights went on. Oh my gosh, everything looks so much smaller. Let me see if Robin Erickson's house. Pretty sure her mother still lives there. Let me see. See, Patricia can't stand too long because she gets shaky from the Parkinson's. So let me see. Robin Erickson's house. All right, Kathy Tafe's house right here. Kathy Tafe is a childhood friend that I'm mostly friends with most of the people that I grew up with, but Kathy Tafe isn't one of them. We had a falling out. I never knew why. Maybe I wasn't cool enough for her, but I was always over her house playing front. Her grandmother didn't like her to let us sleep over, and she wasn't allowed to sleep over at our house. Okay, here's Robin Erickson's. Now I have some childhood stories. I got into a car accident, and that's why my neck is messed up. But, you know, back in the day, we didn't sue. But yeah, I played in that house, outside that house, and in the 2 garages back there. She was considered rich, rich, right? Her father was an engineer. Her mother was a nurse. Anyhow, I remember, I'm getting flooded with memories just standing here. Oh my gosh. All right, Robin Erickson's house, guys. I don't know what happened to her. Last time I saw Robin Erickson, she came to my studio apartment. I was 19. She lost her father when she was 19, so she's a year younger than me. So whereas I'm 59, she's 58. Okay, I used to play over here. Over here was the woods. Now it's houses. Oh my gosh. It was all woods here. And then we would fall and ask Mrs. Erickson for a Band-Aid when we were bleeding. And she would say, I see you're smiling. I see that smile. I think she still lives there. At least her mother lives there. Maybe she remarried. I'm not sure. Okay. I'd go to Christine Valvik's house, and her grandfather lived on this block too, but I don't know, and the Scaffertys lived on this block as well, but I don't know if Patricia wants me to do it. Let me see. Yeah, she doesn't mind. She'll have another cigarette while she waits in the car. Let me just go over to this side. It would be amazing if somebody came out of the house and said, hey, is that you, Kathleen Brady? You're very fat. This is where I used to babysit the 2 kids, Patrick and Susie. I forget her name, but I remember the kids, Patrick and Susie. I used to do my homework for Shakespeare. Many hours of babysitting. Love to babysit. See, some of the houses are like bungalows, but they're really nice. And so this was my route to Christine Valvik's house. Hey, this one's for sale. I used to know exactly who lived in every house. And the other thing I liked about Wyman Avenue is every house is different. Every single house. We had one of the biggest houses back then. Now they built like big ones. But we had one of the biggest houses. We're getting close to Christine Valvik's house. It was 206 Wyman. And her grandfather lived across the street. I think he was 270 something. And that was nice when her grandfather, he used to always be making sauce and jars of jelly and stuff like that. Bagaccia bread. How big this house is. Wait, did I pass Christine Valvik's house? Let's see. It was a bungalow. So I'm not sure. Then the beach. We're getting close to the beach. We were walking distance to the beach. Yeah, some people say to me, don't you miss like the East Coast with the beaches and stuff? And I say, yes, of course I do. Not that I was like having a lot of time swimming. Oh my gosh. Is it 204? Was this her house? Right here? Is it 204? Next to a big house? The dogs are barking at me. I don't know. Maybe they changed it. I think I remember playing over there. It was always clean, but she had these big bushes, gardenia bushes. I don't know. They might have. I think it's this house right there, 204. Because if it's 206, then they made it into a big, huge house. I'm not sure. And I think her grandfather was like over there. Oh, in the Halstead's house. That was the girl I beat up, Lizzie Halstead. Beat her up several times. Okay, sometimes people need to get a beating. Because I don't do that. Ever since 6th grade came along and somebody beat me up in the hallways of IS-24, I was like, oh, my career of beating people up is over. Beat up Robin Tabor in the driveway. We should go visit Joan. No, I'll see Joan tomorrow. Look at these houses. All right, I'm going to go back up, guys, because the church is probably like, what the F? So I got to go in a cab to Laura's house. And she lives on the other side of the island. So I got to get back up there. But, yeah, this is weird. It's like going down memory lane. My childhood street that I lived on from 0 to 15. That's my, 15 years out of my life, and then we moved to an apartment, and everything was different. And in that apartment, 16, 17, I was only there 4 years, then my mother passed away in that apartment. So really, everybody dreams of the house on Wyman. Not just me. Everybody, friends, any people, associated, they all dream about 150 Wyman Avenue and the things that would go on and the fun that we had and crazy times too. Yeah. I don't know why my lips are so strongly colored. But anyway, I wish I knew. I have to text Christine Valvik, what was your number? I would do it now, but my phone will kick me out. I cannot believe it. I know she lived next to a place that had a bungalow. Then at one time when she first got married, or no, when she was just living single, she lived with her friend in a bungalow on the street too. Her aunt had a bungalow that she rented out to her. So yeah. A lot of things brought us back. Looks familiar. 178 looks very familiar. 178. Why does that make me think, was that the house that she lived in? Okay. I know there was another little house in the back. But anyhow, yeah, so these were all beach bungalows back in the day, some of them. That people from Brooklyn used to just come and rent out and go to the beach and stay for the summer. But then my parents moved to the Berry homes, but they had 4 kids in the little apartment, and then they finally were able to buy a house on Staten Island. And my father always used to tell me I had to borrow. I know I look bald with this on, but my father said I had to borrow from your grandmother, Grandma Salmon, 11,000, and I had to pay that back real quick because I didn't want to be beholden to her. You know, he was like a little bit of attitude, but anyhow, imagine the house was only like $11,000. It had a basement that we didn't finish, but I'm sure it's finished off because I heard several people live in this house. Oh, somebody's here. Somebody's in the driveway. At 150 Wyman, I have lots of stories, poems, and short stories that I wrote. Maybe someday I'll read. I have read some of them to you guys. I have read some of them. And this was Allstate. My brother used to work in Allstate.
Can I help you with something?
Yeah, I grew up in this house.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm in from Texas visiting, and I asked my sister if she could drive me over. Is this an apartment building now?
It's apartments, yeah.
How many?
I believe it's 2.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Not too friendly. Not too friendly. All right, I guess it comes a time. Oh, the guy that murdered himself and his wife, or his girlfriend. He was Crazy Bill from Texas. I would say, yeah, those used to be bungalows too. Those 2 houses, and then they built them into big mansions. They were little tiny bungalows. And a Crazy Bill came from Texas, and he moved in there. Then he had a girlfriend who was a big alcoholic. You know, he used to buy us ice cream all the time. And then one day, he shot his girlfriend.
What took you so long?
I went all the way down to where Christine Valvik lives. I went over to Robin's house. Did you see me talking to that girl?
Yeah.
She wasn't very nice. She was, I gotta go. Can I help you with something?
Yeah, because you were recording her.
I had it down low. But I said I grew up in this house, and me and my sister just wanted to come over here and look at it because I'm from Texas. And then she was like, oh, okay. I go, well, how many? Is it apartments? She goes, yeah, it is.
I told you what it was already.
So she's poor. Her truck
She
looked
don't
rich.
live here. She was like
Collects the rent?
No, she was like dropping food or something, like a visiting nurse type of thing.
Oh, so who lives there? I asked her how many. She said 2. Old people live there?
Yeah.
Oh. See Robin Erickson's house? I was right over there.
Yeah.
Did Christine live at 206 Wyman Avenue or 276?
I don't remember. But I'm surprised these bungalows are still here.
Yeah. Scaduto's owned one. Spodo. He should have went to jail. Spodo across the street. These are all people I babysat for.
We will have hundreds of sanitation workers in a new targeted neighborhood task force.
Anybody